The Licensed Digital Infrastructure Act, Restoring Digital Trust author, Neil Chinnock, Chief Business Administrator, iTech Executive Summary. Trust in the digital backbone of our modern economy is wobbling, and that instability isn't just an abstract risk, it's a concrete threat to how online business and reputations function. Too often, policy debates treat problems like ad fraud, fake news, and privacy leaks as separate headaches, when in reality, they all stem from the same unregulated digital pipeline. This pipeline includes three sectors operating with little oversight: virtual private networks, VPNs, which mask user identities; search engine optimization, SEO, which shapes what people see online; and the up-and-coming generative engine optimization, GEO, which influences what AI systems believe and repeat. At present, these industries resemble the digital Wild West. There is a glaring loophole in UK law: someone barred from running a nightclub on safety grounds could, without much trouble, set up a VPN company that unwittingly helps finance terrorism, or run an SEO agency that uses botnets to spread dangerous misinformation. No checks, no licenses, no accountability, leaving the UK's digital reputation at the mercy of bad actors. This paper contends that the all-or-nothing regulatory approach of the last 20 years, either banning an activity outright or ignoring it, has failed. Instead, it suggests adapting the Security Industry Authority (SIA) framework to the digital sphere. Just as the Private Security Industry Act 2001 professionalized physical security, this proposal calls for a new Digital Trust Authority (DTA). The DTA would regulate the digital sector, granting a UK license that could become the international gold standard for digital trust and integrity. The proposal's essence is straightforward: move from blanket bans to robust regulation. Rather than trying to prohibit VPNs, which would damage privacy in business, this framework requires providers to prove they comply with strict standards, including age verification. Those who fail lose their license, an outcome with real commercial consequences. The plan unifies regulation for infrastructure, VPNs, and influence, SEO/GEO, and makes operating without a license a statutory offense. The model's three pillars are: criminal penalties for unlicensed operation, mandatory fit and proper checks, and the power to revoke licenses via algorithms. 1. The strategic context, from Wild West to digital immune system. Understanding why we need regulation starts with realizing VPNs aren't just the tools of tech-savvy rule breakers, they're essential to the modern internet. Once a niche product, VPNs now function as a digital immune system for about 1.75 billion users, roughly a third of all internet users worldwide. Security.org, 2025. A VPN plays four key roles. First, it provides a cryptographic shield, protecting personal security. Public Wi-Fi is notoriously unsafe. Sign in at your local cafe, and anyone with basic hacking skills can snoop on your details. A VPN encrypts your connection, making it unreadable to eavesdroppers and vital in our remote work era. Second, it safeguards privacy, blinding internet service providers, ISPs, to your browsing habits and preserving your data rights, Data Protection Act 2018. Third, it enables freedom from censorship. In countries where the internet is tightly controlled, VPNs help people break out of digital walled gardens to access the global web, UN Human Rights Council reports, 2024. Yet, the lack of standards means it's often impossible to tell a legitimate privacy tool from a criminal one. Unregulated VPNs enable unethical SEO and geo tactics. For example, rogue SEO agencies use cheap VPNs to create armies of bots, inflating website traffic and scamming advertisers out of billions. Marketing Donut, 2025. The VPN provides the disguise, while the SEO firm pulls the trigger, undermining trust in online advertising. At the same time, insurers are getting stricter. Shadow IT, employees using unauthorized VPNs, creates huge liability risks, driving up insurance costs or even making cover impossible for UK firms. WatchGuard, 2025. And because there's no official trust mark for VPNs, insurers can't tell the good from the bad. Unregulated VPNs also let sanctioned entities dodge financial controls, like SWIFT, putting the UK's reputation at risk. National Preparedness Commission, 2025. 2. The governance solution, the Digital Trust Authority, DTA. The answer isn't more fragmented oversight. Instead, this paper proposes a single, statutory regulator, the Digital Trust Authority DTA, modeled on the SIA. Parliament would pass legislation similar to the Private Security Industry Act 2001, making it an offense to operate in these digital sectors without a license. Licensing requirements would include criminal record checks, identity verification, and technical audits, the modern equivalent of the fit and proper person test. The DTA would serve as a digital door supervisor, evolving the logic of physical safety laws to fit online risks like fraud, fake news, and privacy breaches. Instead of a physical badge, providers would display a cryptographic trust token in users' browsers, a public sign of credibility. Enforcement could escalate from prosecution to technical measures, such as null routing non-compliant providers. To ensure independence and prevent conflicts of interest, the DTA's board would include technical auditors, industry leaders, and civil society groups, for example, the Electronic Frontier Foundation. Civil society would have veto power over technical mandates, protecting against abuses like backdoors. The DTA's funding would come from license fees, not fines, which would go directly to home treasury. This prevents the DTA from becoming a profit-driven fine machine, Ofcom, 2025. Rather than a simple split between regulated and exempt activities, this framework introduces a Tier 0 class license and automatic, free status that requires basic registration and subjects internal networks to the same scrutiny as external providers. This ensures even private corporate networks can't become loopholes for abuse. 3. The Unified Licensing Framework. The DTA would issue licenses based on the potential risk posed by different activities, creating a clear link between infrastructure and influence. VPN licenses, the pipes, cover 4 tiers: Tier 0, class license for internal corporate networks, universities, and hobbyists. No commercial use allowed, but IP ranges must be registered to avoid accidental blocking. Tier 1, privacy first license for consumer VPNs. Providers must prove they can't log user data, using RAM-only servers and zero-knowledge proofs, and must work with accredited age verification providers, or lose their license, Mishcon Dareya, 2025. Tier 2, commercial compliance license for enterprise use. Providers must offer clean IP addresses and carbon-neutral routing, which could help firms save on insurance premiums. Tier 3, sovereign license for critical infrastructure requiring UK-only routing and air-gapped management. Special rules would apply to decentralized VPNs, DVPNs, requiring financial collateral that can be forfeited, stake slashing, if they route bot traffic. Optimization sector licenses, the content. Tier 0, class license for internal practitioners, ensuring big firms can't dodge the rules by moving disinformation in-house. High-stakes SEO license, for agencies in sensitive areas like finance and health, requiring anti-fraud certification and director liability. Geospecialist license, for those shaping data for AI, requiring a data provenance audit and statutory liability for deliberate data poisoning. 4. Operational mechanisms, how trust is enforced. Licenses would come with strict technical conditions. Age verification. All Tier 1 VPNs must integrate with accredited age verification providers, using cryptographic tokens to prove users' ages without accessing their identity documents. Brave, 2025. Zero knowledge safety. VPN clients would locally check traffic against a list of banned domains, for example, from the Internet Watch Foundation, blocking harmful sites without logging data. AI-driven assessment. Local AI checks files before encryption, while server-side AI analyzes metadata, not content, to spot botnets, balancing privacy with safety. Clean pipe and ad tech integrity. VPNs must issue proof of humanity tokens, so only genuine traffic gets through to advertisers and search engines, cutting off revenue to fraudulent SEO agencies. Anura.io, 2025. Digital revocation. The DTA would use automated tools to revoke licenses in real time, blocking, de-indexing, or voiding insurance for non-compliant providers. 5. Economic drivers. Why markets will embrace the framework. This framework uses incentives, not just penalties, to drive adoption. Insurance providers act as super regulators by offering 15 to 20% premium reductions to companies that use compliant VPNs. WatchGuard, 2025. Licensed VPNs also guarantee clean, reliable data for marketers, restoring trust in digital advertising and saving the UK billions. PPC Shield, 2025. As search increasingly relies on AI, brands must also protect their reputation with AI systems. Licensed VPNs offer the reliable access they need to audit and influence how AI perceives them. Cybersecurity Tribe, 2025. 6. Harmonizing compliance, avoiding a splintered internet. To prevent a splinternet of isolated national networks, the framework recommends mutual recognition. A VPN licensed in the UK would be automatically recognized in other participating countries. VPNs that meet the zero-knowledge safety model would receive safe harbor status, shielding them from enforcement actions while maintaining compliance with the Online Safety Act 2023, Ofcom, 2025. 7. Future-proofing, technical standards for tomorrow. The framework's technical standards are designed to stand the test of time. Post-quantum cryptography, PQC, is mandatory for Tier 3 VPNs, protecting against future decryption attacks. National Preparedness Commission, 2025. All licensees must publish a machine-readable software bill of materials, SBOM, allowing automated scans for vulnerabilities. Any issues must be patched quickly to maintain a high trust score. CETA, 2023. 8. Implementation and redress. Introducing statutory regulation all at once would risk disruption. Instead, the proposal outlines a phased rollout. Phase 1. Months 1 to 12, voluntary adoption, with early adopter discounts and immediate safe harbor. Phase 2, months 12 to 24, compliance window for new entrants and audits for existing providers. Phase 3, from month 25, full enforcement, unlicensed operators are blocked by ISPs. A digital ombudsman would protect providers from unfair decisions, with the power to pause enforcement during appeals. Whistleblowers who expose wrongdoing would be protected and rewarded under a qui tam program, receiving a share of any penalties recovered. Public Interest Disclosure Act 1998. Conclusion: the days of internet self-regulation are over. The hands-off approach has failed. Fraud, child endangerment, and reputational damage are rife. The digital sector should be held to at least the same standards as its physical equivalent. By introducing statutory licensing, proper vetting, and tough enforcement, this framework aims to build an internet where trust is non-negotiable, privacy is protected, and bad actors are swiftly dealt with. In effect, the DTA would serve as the digital door supervisor, ensuring only those who meet high standards can participate, and restoring confidence in the integrity of our online world. References: Anura.io, 2025. Surprising ad fraud statistics. Available at https://www.anura.io/ad fraud ultimate guide/ad fraud statistics, accessed January 30, 2026. Brave, 2025, The Limits of Zero Knowledge for Age Verification, Brave blog, 5 November. Available at https://brave.com/blog/zkp age verification limit/accessed January 30, 2026. CETA, 2023, Sustainable Computing, the UK's Journey to Net Zero Digital Research Infrastructure by 2040. Available at https://netzerodry.ceta.ac.uk/news/final report/ accessed January 30, 2026. Cybersecurity Tribe, 2025. Should VPNs be regulated? Risks and Policy Paths Ahead, 11th of September. Available at https://www.cybersecuritytribe.com/articles/should VPNs be regulated risks and policy paths ahead, accessed January 30, 2026. Hi.me, 2025, VPN Security Auditing, Tools and Techniques, 28th of October. Available at https://hi.me/n/blog/VPN Security Auditing Tools and Techniques/ accessed 30 January 2026. IT Brief UK, 2025. Cyberattacks cost UK firms over GBP £10,000 as hybrid work rises, 5th of October. Available at https://itbrief.co.uk, accessed, January 30, 2026. Legislation.gov.uk, 2001, Private Security Industry Act 2001. Available at https://www.legislation.gov.uk/UPTA/2001/12/contents, accessed, January 30, 2026. Marketing Donut, 2025, £7 billion in UK ad fraud? It's time for action, 12th of June. Available at https://www.marketingdonut.co.uk, accessed, January 30, 2026. Mishcon de Reya, 2025, Online Safety Act, VPNs and Age Verification, What the House of Lords Debate Reveals, 14th of November. Available at https://www.mishcon.com/news/Online Safety Act VPNs and Age Verification What the House of Lords Debate Reveals, accessed, January 30, 2026. National Preparedness Commission, 2025. NCSC Guidance on the Post-Quantum Cryptography Transition. Available at https://nationalpreparednesscommission.uk, accessed, January 30, 2026. Ofcom, 2025. Online Safety in 2025, Summary of the Technology Sector's Response to Our Rules. Available at https://www.ofcom.org.uk, accessed, January 30, 2026. PPC Shield, 2025. UK businesses lose £186 million to PPC click fraud in 2025. Available at https://www.shield.io/blog/UK PPC click fraud 2025/ accessed, January 30, 2026. Security Industry Authority, 2025. Get a job in the private security industry. Available at https://www.gov.uk/government/organizations/security industry authority accessed, January 30, 2026. Security.org, 2025, 2025 VPN Trends, Statistics and Consumer Opinions. Available at https://www.security.org/resources/VPN Consumer Report Annual/ accessed, 30 January 2026. WatchGuard, 2025. MFA is the key to getting cyber insurance. Available at https://www.watchguard.com, accessed, January 30, 2026. Thanks for watching.